The restaurant was almost empty that night, the kind of quiet that makes every whisper sound louder than it should. Rain tapped against the window, and the dim lights cast a soft glow over the tables. Emma sat there, fingers curled around her coffee cup, her heart racing faster than it should. Across from her sat Daniel, the man she never expected to meet, the man she should have stayed away from. But fate had a strange way of pulling people together when they least expected it. They met 3 weeks ago at the community center. Emma had just moved to town from Vancouver, trying to rebuild her life after her fiancé left her for someone else. Daniel, a single father, volunteered at the center, helping organize events for children. The first time she saw him, he was kneeling beside his daughter, helping her paint a cardboard house. His hands were covered in color, his shirt stained with blue paint, but the way he smiled at his little girl melted something inside Emma she didn't even know was still alive. It started with small conversations, friendly smiles, shared coffee breaks, a few jokes that lingered too long. Emma told herself it was harmless. He was kind, funny, and a devoted father. But soon, the laughter turned into glances that lasted a little too long, and the air between them changed. She began to look forward to seeing him every day, counting the minutes until he walked through the door with his daughter's tiny hand in his. One evening, the center held a charity dinner, and Emma offered to stay late and help clean up. Daniel stayed too. When everyone left, the two found themselves alone under the warm glow of string lights. They talked for hours about everything, about love, about loss, about the struggles of being alone. Emma shared how she still couldn't trust anyone after being betrayed. Daniel told her about losing his wife in a car accident 3 years ago and how hard it was to raise a daughter alone. As he spoke, his voice cracked, and she reached out, placing her hand on his. It was a simple gesture, but it felt electric. His eyes met hers, and for a moment, neither of them breathed. Then, quietly, almost like a confession, he said, "You make me feel alive again." Emma pulled her hand away, heart pounding. "Daniel, this is wrong," she whispered, her voice trembling. "You're still healing. I'm still broken. We shouldn't." But he leaned closer, his voice deep and sincere. "Then why does it feel so right?" Her eyes filled with tears. She wanted to run, to protect herself from another heartbreak. But something about his voice, the pain, the honesty, made her stay. For the first time in years, she felt seen, felt understood. Still, she stepped back. "I can't be the reason you forget her," she said softly. "You need time. Your daughter needs you whole." Daniel nodded, pain flickering across his face. "Maybe you're right. But maybe, Emma, healing doesn't always mean being alone. Maybe sometimes, it means letting someone walk beside you." For days after, Emma couldn't stop thinking about his words. She saw him at the center, laughing with his daughter, his eyes sometimes finding hers across the room. They didn't talk about what happened that night, but their silence spoke louder than words. There was warmth in the way he smiled, a quiet promise that neither of them were ready to speak aloud. One afternoon, Daniel's daughter, Lily, ran up to Emma holding a crumpled paper heart. "Daddy says you're his favorite person here," she said proudly. Emma felt her heart ache and swell at the same time. Daniel stood a few steps away, watching, his eyes soft, hopeful. Life went on, and slowly, Emma realized that love didn't have to come rushing in or break through walls. Sometimes, it arrived gently, in small smiles, in shared laughter, in little acts of kindness. Months later, she found herself sitting in that same restaurant again, this time with Daniel across the table, Lily asleep in her father's lap. The rain tapped the window just like before. But this time, there was peace between them, not confusion, not guilt, just quiet understanding. Daniel looked up and smiled. "I didn't think we'd end up here," he said. Emma smiled back. "Neither did I." He reached across the table and took her hand, not to claim her, but to remind her that life, even after heartbreak, could still be beautiful. Sometimes love doesn't arrive when everything is perfect. It comes when you're broken, when you're afraid, when you think you've lost everything. And it teaches you that what feels wrong in the moment might just be the beginning of something that finally feels right. And as the rain fell outside and the night grew softer, Emma realized she wasn't running anymore, she was finally home.